What's happening, everyone, and welcome back to Qualcomm Pulse. The news cycle never sleeps, and neither do we. Get ready for a rapid-fire rundown of the stories shaping our world, from critical defense intelligence to massive tech investments. You won't want to miss these updates. First up, a major shakeup at the Defense Intelligence Agency. Then, we dive into a landmark deal that could redefine American tech leadership. We've also got the latest on significant government investment in a major chip manufacturer and what it means for the future of innovation. Plus, a look at the broader implications of these strategic moves. Stick around because this is the pulse of what matters. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. A high-level intelligence shakeup amidst international tensions. This development signals significant shifts within the U.S. intelligence community, directly impacting national security assessments and political discourse. The U.S. Defense Secretary, Pete Hegseth, has reportedly dismissed Lieutenant General Jeffrey Crews from his position as the head of the Defense Intelligence Agency, DIA. This move comes after Crews's agency produced an initial intelligence assessment regarding the impact of U.S. strikes on Iranian nuclear sites. The assessment reportedly stated that Iran's nuclear program had only been set back by a few months due to the bombings. This finding directly contradicted assertions made by President Donald Trump and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, who had claimed a much more significant impact. President Trump, in particular, had publicly declared the Iranian program to be completely and fully obliterated, and he reportedly rejected the intelligence assessment that challenged this narrative. The situation is rooted in a series of events that began in June, when Israel conducted extensive bombing operations targeting Iran's nuclear program, missile production facilities, and military leadership. Israel stated that these operations were necessary to prevent Iran from achieving its stated goal of annihilating the Jewish state. The United States joined these efforts during an ensuing 12-day period, specifically targeting key Iranian nuclear sites. Following these strikes, Secretary Hegseth publicly criticized the media for focusing on the preliminary intelligence assessment, although he did not provide concrete evidence to counter the report's findings. During a news conference, Hegseth was quoted as saying, "You want to call it destroyed, you want to call it defeated, you want to call it obliterated, choose your word." This was a historically successful attack. The dismissal of General Crews is the latest in a series of leadership changes within the military and intelligence agencies, occurring just months after details of the preliminary assessment were leaked to the press. This event raises questions about the alignment of intelligence assessments with political objectives and the potential for internal friction when findings challenge stated political positions. The differing accounts of the strike's effectiveness underscore the complex and often contentious nature of intelligence gathering and dissemination, particularly in volatile geopolitical regions. The public's perception and trust in intelligence agencies can be significantly influenced by such high-profile dismissals and the narratives surrounding them. The timing of this decision, following a significant international military action, further amplifies its importance and the scrutiny it will undoubtedly face from both domestic and international observers, highlighting the delicate balance between operational realities and political messaging in national security. This event has sparked considerable discussion online, with many questioning the integrity of intelligence assessments when they clash with political rhetoric, while others express concern over potential politicization of military intelligence. But what happens when government intelligence meets big business? Stay tuned as we break down a massive investment deal that's making waves in the tech world. A strategic government investment signals a new era for American tech leadership. This significant financial maneuver positions the U.S. government as a major stakeholder in a pivotal tech company, aiming to bolster domestic innovation and manufacturing capabilities. The TOI Business Desk is a dedicated team of journalists focused on delivering the latest and most relevant business news globally. Their primary mission is to monitor the international business landscape, covering a broad range of industries, markets, economic trends, and providing in-depth analysis and breaking stories that have a significant impact on businesses and economies worldwide. The desk ensures that its readers are kept well informed about the dynamic and ever-changing world of commerce, enabling them to navigate its complexities effectively. This commitment to comprehensive reporting aims to provide valuable insights and updates, keeping the audience abreast of critical developments that shape the global economic environment. The team's vigilance extends to tracking emerging market trends, corporate strategies, and the broader economic policies that influence business operations and investment decisions. By focusing on accuracy and timeliness, the TOI Business Desk strives to be a trusted source of information for professionals and enthusiasts alike, fostering a deeper understanding of the intricate global marketplace. Their coverage encompasses a wide array of topics, from the latest financial reports and market analyses to exclusive interviews and investigative pieces that shed light on significant business events and their underlying causes and consequences. The desk also dedicates itself to exploring innovative solutions and emerging technologies that are poised to reshape industries, ensuring that readers are at the forefront of technological advancements and their commercial applications. Ultimately, the desk's objective is to empower its audience with the knowledge needed to make informed decisions in an increasingly interconnected and competitive global economy, highlighting the critical role of informed journalism in navigating the complexities of modern business. This strategic partnership is being closely watched by industry analysts and investors, who are keen to see how it will influence the company's trajectory and the broader semiconductor landscape. But this isn't the only major government play in the tech sector. Get ready for a deep dive into another substantial government investment, this time focused on a semiconductor giant. Government takes significant stake in Intel, sparking debate on tech strategy. This unprecedented move sees the U.S. government investing billions into Intel, aiming to secure American leadership in advanced chip manufacturing, though analysts caution about immediate technological gains. Analyst Ming-Chi Kuo from TF Securities has provided key insights into President Donald Trump's recent decision to invest $11 billion in Intel Corporation, characterizing it as a strong endorsement of the chipmaker's future prospects. However, Kuo also cautioned that this substantial investment might not immediately resolve Intel's existing challenges in advanced semiconductor technology. Kuo highlighted that the U.S. government's acquisition of a 9.9% stake, amounting to 433.3 million shares purchased at $20.47 each, effectively signals that Intel is considered too big to fail. This strategic equity structure, he noted, is designed to prevent political interference, as the U.S. government has waived typical shareholder rights, such as board representation. The investment is being made through a primary stock issuance, ensuring that all proceeds directly benefit Intel for operations and manufacturing. Kuo further elaborated that the choice of common stock over preferred stock avoids fixed dividend obligations, reinforcing the idea that this is a long-term strategic endorsement rather than an emergency bailout. He pointed out that Intel's stock historically finds robust buying support around the $20 per share mark, and this government intervention significantly raises that valuation floor, reassuring markets about Intel's crucial role in revitalizing America's domestic semiconductor base. Kuo also suggested that a similar investment model would not be feasible for companies like Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Co., TSMC, or Samsung Electronics due to national security concerns, varying profitability levels, and their global neutrality mandates. He explained that a foreign government acquiring an equity stake in such companies could lead to potential political risks associated with ceding partial ownership of critical national resources. President Trump announced the stake on Friday, emphasizing it as a great deal for America that would cement U.S. leadership in advanced chipmaking. Intel has been grappling with significant hurdles, including substantial foundry losses in 2024, internal leadership challenges, delays in its Ohio plant construction, and issues with its 18A process technology yields. Despite reporting second quarter revenue slightly above expectations, the company posted an adjusted loss per share. Fitch Ratings has downgraded Intel's credit, and analysts believe competition from industry giants like TSMC, Advanced Micro Devices, AMD, and ARM Holdings remains a considerable challenge. Qualcomm Pulse Pro data indicates that Intel shares experienced a 1.05% rise in after-hours trading, and Qualcomm Pulse rankings show strong momentum for INTC across various timeframes. This investment has drawn varied reactions, with some praising the government's commitment to bolstering domestic chip production and others raising concerns about potential market distortions and government overreach. It's a massive deal, but how did it all come together so quickly? We're going to look at the specifics of how the U.S. secured this significant stake in Intel and the immediate market reactions. U.S. secures 10% stake in Intel in a pivotal deal for American tech. In a significant development, the U.S. government has acquired a 10% stake in Intel, a move championed by President Trump as a critical step to ensure American leadership in the semiconductor industry, despite some concerns about governance and market influence. President Donald Trump announced on Friday that the United States government has successfully secured a 10% ownership stake in the technology company Intel. This landmark deal was finalized shortly after Trump had previously voiced criticisms of Intel's CEO, Lip-Bu Tan, questioning his suitability for the role. Trump expressed his enthusiasm via a social media post, stating, "The United States of America now fully owns and controls 10% of Intel, a great American company that has an even more incredible future." The U.S. government obtained this stake through the conversion of $11.1 billion in previously allocated funds and pledges. In total, the government acquired 433.3 million shares of non-voting stock, priced at $20.47 per share, which represents a discount compared to Intel's closing price of $24.80 on the announcement day. This price difference already resulted in an on-paper gain of $1.9 billion for the U.S. government. U.S. Representative Sam Liccardo, who represents parts of Silicon Valley, voiced concerns regarding federal government ownership in tech companies, particularly regarding governance and the potential for regulatory favoritism towards Intel over its American competitors. This acquisition makes the U.S. government one of Intel's largest shareholders at a time when the company is undergoing significant restructuring, including the planned layoff of over 20,000 employees, as part of its efforts to recover from a series of strategic missteps. Intel's CEO, Lip-Bu Tan, who has been in his position for just over 5 months, faced scrutiny earlier this month from lawmakers concerned about his past investments in Chinese companies during his venture capital career. Trump initially amplified these concerns, calling for Tan's resignation. However, this stance shifted after Tan publicly reaffirmed his allegiance to the U.S. in a letter to Intel employees and met with President Trump at the White House. This meeting paved the way for the current deal, with the U.S. government betting on Intel's potential recovery after the company incurred losses exceeding $22 billion since the end of 2023. Trump subsequently praised Tan as a highly respected CEO. In a statement, Tan commended Trump for driving significant investments in a vital industry and pledged to honor the confidence placed in Intel. He stated, "We are grateful for the confidence the President and the administration have placed in Intel, and we look forward to working to advance U.S. technology and manufacturing leadership." Intel's current stock price remains only slightly above its value at the time of Tan's hiring and is over 60% below its peak from 25 years ago. The company's market value is currently around $108 billion, a stark contrast to chip industry leader NVIDIA, valued at $4.3 trillion. The government's stake is primarily funded through grants from the CHIPS and Science Act, initiated under the Biden administration to promote domestic chip manufacturing and reduce reliance on overseas factories. Despite the Trump administration's past criticisms of the CHIPS Act, it now aims to profit from the pledged funding. U.S. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick stated, "We think America should get the benefit of the bargain. It's obvious that it's the right move to make." Approximately $7.8 billion was pledged to Intel under the incentives program, with $2.2 billion funded so far, and an additional $3.2 billion coming from the Secure Enclave program. While the U.S. government cannot vote with its shares or hold a board seat, critics view this stake as an inappropriate blending of public and private sectors that could harm the tech industry. Concerns include potential pressure on other tech companies to source chips from Intel to gain favor with Trump, especially amidst ongoing trade tensions. Scott Lincecum of the Cato Institute described the move as horrendous and predicted real harm to U.S. companies, tech leadership, and the economy. The stake could also increase pressure on TAN, particularly if Trump focuses on Intel's stock performance. Nancy Tingler, CEO of Laffer Tingler Investments, expressed skepticism about the benefits for taxpayers or the chip industry, voicing worries about potential Trump interference. This government intervention has ignited a debate about the role of the public sector in private enterprise, with supporters highlighting the strategic importance of domestic chip production and critics warning of potential market distortions and undue influence. From intelligence assessments to major government investments, it's been a packed news cycle. We'll wrap it all up with a quick recap and your essential calls to action. And that's a wrap on today's Qualcomm Pulse. We covered a top intelligence official's dismissal, a major government stake in Intel, and the strategic implications for U.S. tech. Don't miss out on future updates. Hit that like button, subscribe for more, ring the notification bell, share your thoughts in the comments, and follow us on all our social channels. We'll see you next time.